What's up, Canes fan? Welcome to Junior and the Big Dog, your favorite father and son duo covering Miami Hurricanes football and sports. My apologies for being a few minutes late, but things happen sometimes. Well, what's up, Big Dog?
What do you say, everybody? Good evening, everyone. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to make sure. I got to fix this. I'm getting an echo. There we go. Everybody wants to say hello. Zoo Pride, Captain Trips, Mr. HD, LeBrent, Phil from the Dale, Byron, Jared, Anthony. What do you guys say? Good evening, everybody. A lot to talk about today. Ben, Tony, Caesar. Oh my gosh. We got a reunion of our Junior and Big Dog family. Always look forward to being with you. Everybody was worried about you. Junior wanted to know how you were feeling, if you were better from last week. And he is. I mean, he's having you have to remember, besides having twins at home, they're also putting a lot of hours. He's also putting a lot of hours in at work because they are on a reduced staff. So, he's having a lot of hours at work, then having twins at home. And you can imagine that sometimes that runs you a little ragged and your health suffers a little bit. So he was feeling ill last week.
Then I'll just be real with you guys. I had a stomach virus and couldn't stop going to the bathroom. So that's basically what it is, man. I'm not gonna keep anything from you guys, man.
No.
This is what it is.
Christian Williams, what do you say? Trent, Zach, Eddie DeMonte, all you guys. Bergie,
thank you guys.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. You guys know that you are the best part of our week. Being able to get together with you guys and chop it up and talk some Canes and some other stuff too. And a lot to talk about. If you are new or you're watching us on Facebook, please always, like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and press all so you're notified whenever we deliver a new video. And we do have to get on a whole bunch of videos that we owe you guys from video breakdowns of players and stuff like that. And it looks like I'm starting to feel really confident that we are going to have a season. Obviously had some little big piece of bad news this week with Avante Williams being ruled out for the season. And they obviously don't release because of HIPAA rules and stuff. They don't release the injuries a lot of times of college players. I don't know what Avante's is. I have heard some things through the grapevine, but nothing that I can share with you that I think is substantial, that I think is verifiable. But hopefully it's nothing career threatening. But they did say it's chronic. So apparently this is an issue that Avante has had for some time. And obviously after being through what we have been through with Amon Richards, with DeAndre Wilder, with Malik Young, we're a little bit like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, wondering always if it's going to be something more serious. But obviously we're praying that it's not and that he'll be able to be back better than ever by next season. And it sounds like it's something that they can work with Coach Feely to strengthen. So hopefully that'll not be something long-term for him. But the young man, I'll tell you what, after watching him on tape so much, the one thing that you got from it over and over was how much he loves football. And because he plays with not just with a chip on his shoulder, but with a zest, with an extra gusto that a lot of elite players have. And that's what Avante has. And a guy that's that much into football, you hate to see if it gets threatened. So hopefully that won't be the case. But we also have a lot of other positive stuff to talk about. We had a really impressive showing in a scrimmage by several of our players that we can talk about. But always, like I said, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, leave your comments and interact. And obviously I have to get back on the comments again, which I know I've talked about endlessly and haven't done. So, yeah, but please do. And also if you're on Facebook, also please share it. That's the best thing you can do to help us grow. So go ahead.
The whole nine, baby.
I've learned from you, so I've learned from the best. So I've learned from you.
Good. I have an announcement to make, man. Not too long ago, I was asking for your guys' input on, and this is completely un-Canes related. So before we go ahead and jump into the nitty gritty with the Canes, I was asking about, switching to iPhone or, staying with, Android. I got a lot of mixed reactions, man. So I got to say, man, that I finally made a decision. It's done. So, and Big Dog, nah, chill. Hey, Gallo Negro, what's up with you? Now you're throwing me off because you changed your name. So,
who's the Gallo Negro?
LeBrant Alston.
Oh, that's him. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the Gallo Negro. Okay.
Yeah.
So you finally went iPhone?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. I went that Note 20 Ultra Galaxy, baby.
Oh, so you did it. You stayed with Android.
Hey, guess when this comes out? This doesn't come out until Friday, baby, and I already have it in my hands, boy.
Oh,
Woo! My God. iPhone who? Nah, sorry. Couldn't do it, baby.
All right.
I had to get the cream of the crop, and the cream of the crop still is Android Note 20
so
Ultra.
What can you? Let me ask you a question.
Heck.
What?
Everything.
Hold up.
Everything.
Hold up. What can you do with that phone that I can't do with the same iPhone that I've had for like 5 years now?
Everything.
Name me one.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Oh, you see? Hold on. You see this right here? You see what that says?
What does it say? I don't see. I can't see that.
Oh, that says 5G. iPhone still doesn't have 5G.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's faster, is what you're telling me.
Hey, no, display is a lot better. All right.
I still get the same stuff you get just as quickly.
Yeah, but it's not as good, Big Dog.
You see? That's what I'm talking about.
It's not as good, Big Dog. It's not
it's not like I press to search something on the internet. Oh my God, I gotta wait 10 seconds. No, it's like instant.
Hey, listen to me, man. Those that know.
All right.
No. All right.
Mr. AT is asking, did they fix the camera?
Man, the cameras on these Android, my S10 Plus. I still haven't even connected it. I still got the S10 Plus. My camera still chops up iPhone cameras. All right, and this is the S10 Plus. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I will say this. I pride myself on the things. The things that I talk about are the things that I know. Technology is something that I don't know. So I will bow out gracefully.
Ooh. Hold on, Big Dog. Hold on. You can see the reflection. Ooh, look at that. I mean, come on, man. Come on, baby. Look at that.
What am I supposed to be impressed with?
Come on, man. Look at that. Look at that, Big Dog. I can see.
It's a cell phone.
No, this is what they call a phablet, because this is like between a tablet and a phone.
Oh my God, man.
Oh wait, Big Dog. You want me to take some notes for you? Because I could take some notes for you as well.
And by the way, you have twins. Let me explain to you. That little thing you have in your right hand, in 3 months, it'll be lost. Trust me. It'll be lost.
No.
Trust me.
The twins can't touch this.
You won't be able to find it.
The twins can't touch it.
You say that now.
All right. Matter of fact,
from now, you'll lay it down. No, but listen, I don't know anything about text, man. I don't know anything about text, so I have to bow out. No, the stuff like
Mr. HD literally just came in the mail, man. So I'm not even gonna. I just took it out for 1 second, but I already have the case for it. So as soon as we're done, I'm gonna set it up tonight, and the first thing I'm gonna do is put a case on that bad boy, because I
will bow out. I will bow out gracefully because I don't know about tech. Now, I think that's one thing that people like about our channel is that we talk about the things that we know, and the things that we don't know, we don't say that we do. So that's one of the things that I think people like. So I'll bow out because you know a lot more about tech, and a lot of people on the chat know a hell of a lot more about tech too.
Another thing. Check this out. 247 says it's a $1,200 phone.
And I'd rather invest that in the market.
Actually, this phone is $1,299. But guess what? Guess what you could do with Samsung?
What can you do?
I turn in this phone and I get $600 off, baby. Come on, man.
That's good. That's good.
Come on now.
That's
all right.
Good.
A little financing plan. I'm not gonna be paying that much for it monthly. I'm gonna be paying less monthly for this phone than I was paying for my S10. So, and those are deals you could only get through Samsung, baby.
Listen,
Come on, man.
my two big screens are both Samsung, so I can't say a word about Samsung. I like Samsung, so I
Come
can't
on.
complain.
Both
I
of my
can't complain.
TVs, especially my big 75-inch 4K Samsung. So whatever, Millie.
What did Millie say? You can
He
deal with
said,
an iPhone. There you go,
I
Millie.
don't
See,
know if you can,
I don't know.
but
I don't know any of those things, man. I really don't. I really don't. So, but Taz sent us something on. He said, check the PayPal.
Hey yo,
Thank you, Taz.
let me check it out. Thank you, Taz. Appreciate that. Do you
He's
talk clear?
always-
Hey,
he's
hey,
always
listen,
looking
I
out for you.
talk clear. I see clear. I could hear better. All right. I look better. I mean, this phone does everything. Okay. The whole nine, baby. The whole nine.
Okay, is it going to sharpen up our spread offense or anything?
What? I'm telling. Hey, listen to me, man.
Can
They're
I
lucky.
draw plays? Can I draw like my
I
video?
could do it. I
my
could do
X
it.
nose breakdown on it. Can I do that?
I could do it. I could do it. Hey,
I
Taz,
guess
man.
so. Look, I still have. I can't reach it. But I still have all the boards of all the stuff that I when we did those X's and O's breakdown.
Yeah.
I still have all my boards saved.
Hey, we got a straight to our PayPal $10 donation, man, from Taz, man. Thank you so much, Taz.
So much, Taz.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, man, we don't obviously if you donate straight to our PayPal, we get 100% of the donation. If you donate through YouTube, we get 70% because YouTube takes 30%. But I mean, whatever. It is what it is, man. If you guys want to donate to YouTube, to PayPal, we just put it there just in case, for those that want to donate to PayPal. But you guys don't even have to donate, man. Just you guys being in here with us in the chat, it has always been more than enough for me and the big dog, man. So
absolutely. Orange and green blood's in. Cohen.
Hey, Cohen.
It's all about the you, Cohen.
Yes, sir.
That's my little brother right there. Cohen watching us.
I'm also rocking this little chain because one of my good friends, man, hooked me up with a chain for my birthday that passed not too long ago. He also hooked me up with the straight out of the 305 T.
I like it.
Thank
you, buddy. Thank you.
I'm flexing today, baby. I'm flexing with the chain.
Small donation for the new junior phone.
Thank you, man.
He said, enjoy, brother. Thank you, buddy.
That's going straight to the monthly payment, baby. I'm flexing today. I got the new shirt. I got the chain out. I got the phone out. Don't mess with me today, baby.
I broke out one of my old new hats today. With my gray and the U on it.
I like it.
It.
This is probably my favorite hat, actually, to be honest with you.
And if you guys wonder, because I had somebody ask me this in the comment section once, if you guys wonder why you see me sometimes a lot with these green shirts, my wife and I, we work with a charity called Good Works Farm, which helps special needs kids have a summer camp that's specially designed for kids that are, on the spectrum and those type of things. And so my wife and I have a bazillion of these green shirts from Good Works Farm, that's their little slogan down there. I don't know if you can see that, but I know people have asked me why you see that green shirt on more than the other ones. And it's because I literally have like 10 of them. And I have 10 of the previous ones, which are getting older and ratty and stuff like that. But anyways.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the donation, buddy. Big Dog, before we go ahead and get into more, this, I guess, is kind of Canes related. So Pete Thamel tweeted out at around 6. He said, according to sources, the NCAA Division I Council decided today that fall sport student athletes can compete in any amount of competitions this year, and it will not count as a season of eligibility. This still needs to be approved by obviously the NCAA Board of Governors on Friday. But what could that mean, man?
For the U.
For the
absolutely.
U. In particular.
De'Aaron King.
For De'Aaron King.
De'Aaron King.
Yeah.
That's the guy who I think will be impacted by it the most.
I think it would depend on the season that
he has.
If he has like a 2018 kind of year, then I think he's gone. But if he has something that maybe
now hold on though, I will say this. Now, mind you, we haven't had the season as of yet, but there was talk of among NFL scouts that they had interest in De'Aaron King as a wide receiver, not as a quarterback.
Yeah, but he wants to be a quarterback, man.
Exactly. That's my point.
So the same thing with Tebow.
Well, same thing with Tebow. Same thing with a lot of guys. Lamar Jackson was the
Lamar
most
Jackson,
exactly,
most recent one.
The most recent and big example.
And I think him sticking to being quarterback
paid
dividends. Paid some pretty good dividends.
It worked out pretty well. I don't know if De'Aaron King has the type of season that I think he's going to have in Rhett Lashley's offense. I don't see how the NFL doesn't give him an opportunity to play quarterback, especially with the way that they're designing offenses in the NFL nowadays. Mm-hmm. It's no longer the same type of systems that they have where now that mobility in a quarterback's value considerably more.
Right.
Ultimately, listen, here's the reality, and this was true 50 years ago, and this will be true 50 years from now. A quarterback to succeed in the NFL at a high level for a long period of time, you have to be able to throw the ball from the pocket.
Have fun, 247. Thank you, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's at Disney. Have fun. To throw the ball from the pocket with consistent, pinpoint accuracy, and do so at a high level to the right guy a high percentage of the time. That's the reality of it, because we have had great athletes at quarterback for a very, very long time. And they have always been, if you guys remember when we started out, playing football when we were younger, the quarterback was usually the best athlete on the field when you were little. Okay. I have a real strong arm. I play quarterback too. I mean, we all, that's a thing now as you get older. Different people, you start going to different positions. I always like defense better than offense. So I always gravitated to the defensive side of the ball. But you have people that have done it differently. But you've had, this is what I tell people. Until when Lamar Jackson broke Michael Vick's quarterback rushing record last year, right? I said it on this chat. I said before Lamar Jackson's season, who had the record for rushing by a quarterback in yards per game for a full season? It wasn't Michael Vick. And nobody got it. It was Bobby Douglas in 1972. 1972 is almost 50 years ago. And Bobby Douglas in a 14-game season rushed for 968 yards. Okay, what happened? Why don't people know Bobby Douglas? Well, he had this cannon for an arm. He was 6'3". He was built like a fullback, but he was inaccurate. So what ended up happening is what happens to a lot of running quarterbacks is if you cannot throw from the pocket consistently with pinpoint accuracy and timing, you do not succeed in the NFL long term because you will get broken. Now, with De'Aaron King, he has the added thing of being short, by quarterback standard. Now, Kyler Murray seems to be doing fine, and he's just as short. Kyler Murray is, if anything, he's right around De'Aaron King's height. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with De'Aaron King. The fact that opportunity could present itself for him, if it does get approved by the NCAA, would be huge, and it'd be huge for Miami if we could get 2 years from De'Aaron King. But we will see if that happens.
Imagine.
We'll see if that happens.
Got a $10 donation from 247. I'm liking the new logo, the new avatar 247. He says, "Thanks, gentlemen. Oh, and by the way, I still have those Jake Garcia to the U vibes. Stephen Field is a beast.
He is a beast. To me, that's the best recruiter pound for pound in the country.
Yeah, they say Murray is 5'10", but I don't know, man.
But remember, he measured at Finn and didn't want to be measured again.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Listen, whether he's 5'10" or 5'9.5", who cares?
And King is better built than Murray right now.
Yeah. King has a better football shape for sure. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I did read an article on 247. It was a few weeks ago where a unnamed NFL scout says that the only interest that they would have in De'Aaron King would be as a receiver, but they have a high interest in him as a receiver. Do I think De'Aaron King would make one hell of a slot receiver? Yeah, I do. I do.
I just think one season could change everything, big dog.
Absolutely.
I mean, where would Burrow?
No, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's a perfect example. Kyler Murray had not done anything in college football,
right?
And he had one monster year, wins the Heisman, and gets drafted first overall by a team that had drafted a quarterback in the first round the year before.
Yeah.
So, and De'Aaron King, by the way, in 2018, okay, it wasn't against Power 5 competition, but in 2018, he had every bit the Heisman year for Houston.
Yeah.
50 touchdowns combined, rushing and receiving. He
still
has a fifth. Listen, guys, he has a 15-game streak currently that he has thrown and run for a touchdown in 15 consecutive games. Think about how crazy that is.
Right.
Seriously, think about how crazy that is.
Yeah.
And that streak is active. So this idea that De'Aaron King, because one scout said, oh, well, we're interested in him, but as a wide receiver, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. If he goes out and has a year for us, like he did in 2018 for Houston, there's gonna be somebody that wants to take a chance on him on quarterback. Now, I will say this: as a passer, as a pure passer, Kyler Murray is further along than De'Aaron King is. Okay, now you can make the case that De'Aaron King's a better athlete than Kyler Murray. Okay, but as a pure passer, I think Kyler is at a different level of accuracy and timing and those things as a passer than De'Aaron is. Okay, so take that for what it's worth. But the fact is,
I still think King is underrated as a passer.
Oh, absolutely, he's underrated as a passer. Absolutely, he's a much better passer than people give him credit for.
Yeah,
but he is a incredibly talented runner from the quarterback position. I mean, Manny talked about it just from the scrimmage that they weren't playing live with quarterbacks; it was just tagging him, and guys had a hard time even touching him.
Yeah, but you know who got him twice?
Chance Williams got him twice.
No, Jaden Phillips got him twice.
Jalen Phillips, I think, got him twice too, but Chance got him twice also. And Chance is fighting to be that fourth defensive end.
I don't know if Chance got him, though.
Yeah, no, Chance got him twice.
I don't know if he got King
Chance got.
he got.
No, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah,
he had 2 sacks. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. It's not necessarily he got De'Aaron King right. Yeah, but he did mention. Manny mentioned that Jalen Phillips looked ridiculously good. Oh my God, Chug! Thank you so much. Oh my God, Chug Mobier again with a monster donation. He said, "Hello, Junior the Big Dog. Hope all is
good." $50 donation, man, from Chug. Hold up.
Yep. Go ahead and you read this comment.
Chug, you always dropping bombs, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chug.
Hello, Junior the Big Dog. Hope all is good. Samsung is great for big screens like my 75 4K, but I will keep my iPhone. And yes, I get $600 when I traded in. That my ass up. Hey, Junior, COVID-19 has given you another year to practice domino. Go Canes.
I like it. I will tell you this, that's cool. I promise you that there will be a day that we share a dominoes table, man.
Yeah.
I promise you. That has 100%. To go down.
100%.
No matter what
Thank
we
you
have
so
to
much,
do, that has to go down.
Always dropping us with bombs, and I can't wait, also, man.
I like Sim Shady's donation, 305. He donated, and he said, "What's up, gentlemen? Glad to see you all back. Thank you. It's good to be back.
Thank you so much, man."
Okay, now should we get down to let's talk about the scrimmage?
Yeah. Besides the scrimmage, did we miss anything last week?
We talked a little bit about Avante being
obviously we were disappointed about Rousseau, but I think we did talk about
Rousseau
that. Right?
Too. We talked about Rousseau,
and
the Rousseau thing, man, it's upsetting on a personal level. I think you guys know that's my favorite. That was my favorite Cane and has been since he signed out of Hialeah Champagnat Catholic. I get it though, man. I get it. I mean, I don't like
100%.
it. I don't like the look. I don't like. I'll say this: if I was his father, maybe that would be the advice I'd give him. But if I was
But
him,
his mother's a nurse, big dog.
yeah, but that's true too. But if that's the thing, is I would.
And I think
not,
he had family as well, like
but I
family
can't
in
leave.
homes. And
I couldn't leave my boys, man. I just couldn't leave my boys.
big dog. Okay,
I couldn't
big
do
dog.
it. I'm telling you, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's enough that you'll leave early. Not now. It's not. You're not just bailing out on a bowl game at the end of the year. You're bailing out on an entire season. Now I know Jadeveon Clowney did it. Okay, and it worked out fine for Clowney.
All right, so let me ask you a question then. All right, let me pose some hypotheticals for you. Okay, and this is why yeah, I like playing devil's advocate, so maybe you could see things differently. Let's say, okay, Rousseau is coming off a year. It's one of the best years for a defensive end for the Miami Hurricanes in history.
No, arguably one of the best seasons ever, especially for a redshirt freshman.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, period
right,
for a pass rusher for the Canes. Okay,
right.
So sometimes it's hard to follow that up. That's number one. Okay, so right now,
I'm not saying he could do. I'm not saying he could do anything to better his draft stock. I get that.
Right,
part.
But hold on, but check this out. Let me finish. So he's basically guaranteed a top 15 pick right now.
Top 10 pick. Actually, I think it's gonna be top 5. But go ahead.
Well, whatever. He's gonna be top 15. Okay. Right. Let's say we get the season started. We're 3 games in. We're 3, 4, 5 games in. He has 1 sack. Season gets canceled. How much does his draft stock fall?
Honestly, I don't think at all.
I disagree, man.
The only thing I can see his stock falling would be injury. But his stock falling from performance, I don't see that. I listen, he's one of those guys that's going to do like Will Mallory's going to do. But now he has production where Mallory didn't. But Rousseau is one of those guys that makes scouts whisper. Have you ever seen a group of scouts together? Literally, there's almost like a murmur when they see a guy who's special. Rousseau is one of those guys that makes scouts whisper. That's like, hey, look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. He's 6'6", or a 260. He's probably going to be 265, 270 around the draft, around the combine time. Okay, he's going to run a 4.6. Okay, with that body, with those Inspector Gadget arms, like Manny calls them. Okay, listen, man, that dude is like, okay, I draft him, I have a pass rush for 10 years.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So he's going to be, to me, he's definitely going to be the first edge rusher off the board. Okay, and he's probably going to be the first defensive player off the board. Now, I know some people have him as the first edge rusher, but a little bit lower down in terms of defensive players. I don't see anybody being drafted ahead of Greg Rousseau. Okay. Yeah. Now, that being said, okay, remember, you weren't alive for this, but I saw what happened with Melvin Bratton. Melvin Bratton, people forget, that was a beloved Hurricane. Okay, a guy that I mean, won huge games for us, won national championships for us, and literally in the last play of his college career, he blew his knee out to the extent that it ended his career. I think he ended up with like a cup of coffee look with the Denver Broncos, but he went from being a very high draft pick to nothing. Okay, so listen, I get that, man. Slim Shady with a donation.
Slim Shady with a donation.
Thank you.
Could having only one good year film hurt Greg Rousseau in the draft like it did Gerald Willis? I think they're two completely different things because Gerald Willis had some bad years. Slim Shady. I think that's the reason why probably
two things hurt
Gerald Willis wasn't. I mean, he was dominant, but not to the level of the dominance.
Right. And Gerald, there's some film on Gerald that hurt Gerald too, because
he didn't blow up. Like he didn't like show his full potential until that last year.
Well, and Gerald also would play high with his pads, with his leverage sometimes, and get pushed around.
Yeah.
In the NFL, if you're a D tackle, that can't happen. You can't ever be high, because if you're high, you get pushed around. You just allowed a 50-yard run.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing, that sometimes Gerald, his pad level would get away from him. And then you had the off-field baggage stuff. Greg Rousseau is a great kid. Everybody loves him. Great work ethic. I mean, you've seen how he's gained the weight. He's just gained it perfectly. I think he still has I don't know if you've seen him, but that's ridiculous, man. His waist looks like it's 30 inches. And then he just goes straight up to this animal of an athlete. And he's a great kid on top of that. Coaches love him. So, yeah, with Gerald, that was completely different. And I also think edge rushers add a premium, man. If you can rush the passer, listen, in the NFL level, who are your highest paid guys? Quarterbacks, left tackles that protect your quarterbacks,
and pass rushing.
S rushers that get the quarterback, and cornerbacks that cover the players that are being thrown to by the quarterbacks. That's the reality of it, you know. And with Greg Rousseau, like I said, God forbid, barring injury, you have a pass rush for 10 years, 12 years, you know, for however long he's around. But yeah, there's no question for me that Rousseau is going to be a top 10 pick for sure, and could sneak into the top 5. And so, but my point is this: there is, for lack of a better term, an esprit de corps, which is a French term, but we're all in this together type of mentality in football that you have with your teammates that you don't have in other sports.
I think that's different though, big dog. We're in the midst of a pandemic, man. You can't say that right now. You just can't.
Wait, we've seen a lot of players do. Jadeveon Clowney did it, and we weren't in any pandemic.
But this is not. But
he was like South Carolina, because that's where he went to school. Isn't going anywhere.
If we weren't in a pandemic and all this COVID-19 stuff, you know, well, obviously he would have had to play anyway because of situations. But I'm just saying, I think the fact that his mom I'm pretty sure she's an ER nurse. Okay. I'm pretty sure he had family also, you know, elderly in homes, you know, stuff like that, man. I think a lot of those things played a factor into it. And I just don't think that you could, like, I'm with Rousseau here, man. Like, it just, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see him get the virus. You don't want to see him get hurt. You know what I'm saying? You're basically you're playing through.
Is a collision sport. I get that. You
didn't have a full, you know, spring camp. You know, you weren't really in the building in the summer working with your teammates, going through a strength and conditioning program. You know, there's a lot of things and that play into it, man.
Those are good points. Those are good points.
I can't blame him.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe if he had been with them in spring and they had been, you know, preparing for the season the whole time, maybe he would have felt differently. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Listen, I love the kid. You know, I love the kid.
Yeah,
and he's a great kid. So it's not like, trust me, I don't want to say anything negative about him at all, because I hope to God the Dolphins draft him, because I'd love to see him and root for him for you know, a decade and a half.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but that's a fair point. You know, maybe the pandemic and not being together with the team in the spring caused him
not going through like a real summer workout program.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes sense.
So
yeah, maybe I didn't take that into account. That makes sense.
Yeah. So, but listen, it's gonna open the door for guys like, you know, Jalen Phillips, Chance Williams, Cam Williams. I mean, so, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see, man, who's gonna step up. Obviously, Harvey. You know, so
Jafari's getting a chance.
Listen, man. A lot of these kids, man, are gonna be, and I think it's 6 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, now they're talking about, you're saying that they're saying you could play the whole season and it wouldn't count against your eligibility.
No, but even if that doesn't pass, you could play, I think, 6 games. I believe that
6 instead of 4?
Only for the season. I heard Manny say.
Okay.
I
mean, he should know.
For the simple fact of you got kids opting out.
I had heard that, but I didn't hear that it was passed. I had heard that they talked about 6.
Yeah. So,
wow.
I mean, you're gonna be able to have a lot of guys, you know, see some playing time, man. So that's gonna be interesting to see.
Avante would have been one of those guys too.
He would have, but supposedly he's gonna be good by January.
Yeah, that's all, man. If I'm a believer in the power of prayer, man. So pray for that young man and that he's back 100%.
Whatever it is that's going on, man. He'll be straight.
Davis brings up a good point. I think a couple of guys have brought up that point that we need to have a player like Greg Rousseau drafted in that top 10 to get that publicity of that player going on draft day. On national television. And I think we're going to have that with Rousseau. I think he's going to be one of the ones, if we're back to having a normal combine for them, he's one of those guys that's going to be invited to the draft. So, that's going to be good for us. Absolutely, it's going to be good for us.
Yeah.
And I do think we'll have at least one more player that should go late in that first round. So we'll see. And I believe Brevin's going to go late in that first round. And I believe Will Mallory has a shot.
I think it depends on the season Brevin has.
Oh, it depends.
Because if not, I think he comes back.
You think he comes back for his fourth year?
If he doesn't have
a monster year.
If he doesn't have a monster year, I could see, and especially if we make some noise and we're competing for maybe the ACC championship. Even though nobody's going to be able to win a national championship this year, but you still could compete for your conference. And if we're on the cusp, man, and maybe De'Aaron King comes back, maybe Brevin comes back, if he doesn't have a monster year, because Brevin has that first round kind of talent. But he needs to stay healthy and he needs to put up numbers. So if he has some nagging injuries and he doesn't put up some monster numbers, I could absolutely see Brevin come back for his senior year.
Yeah.
But Big Dog, listen, a guy I think that could also go in the first round, man. Be careful with Bubba.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Be careful with Bubba, man.
Now, safeties are not given the value that they once were. That's the only thing about safeties.
That's true. That's a good point.
They tend to go lower in the draft than you would expect.
Sure, you didn't see a safety go in the first round this past year.
A lot of McKinney dropped.
I thought McKinney. I thought Del Pitt was a possibility.
Right, and you saw them both go much later than they expected. So
maybe not.
That happens with the safeties now.
Yeah, Al Blaze is a French first rounder.
I think he can be. I think he can be. I don't think right now, if he were to leave, let's say, unless he has a monster season,
he got burned. You saw him get burned by D.
Yeah, hey, listen, King threw for 4 touchdowns. He was 15 of 26.
No, but this was in practice. It was just a small clip that they showed, and King hit D for a deep pass. But do I see first round potential for Blades? I don't know, man.
Do I see a possibility of first round potential for Blades? Yes. Would I draft him in the first round now? No. Would I draft him in the first round if he has a big year this year? Yeah, because
he needs to have a big year. Yeah,
he did well last year.
Yeah,
I think players. What was it? I think opposing quarterbacks completed a little bit over 40% of the times that when they threw it at Blades man. Mm-hmm. Those are good numbers for a cornerback. Those are good numbers. So he did well. I think he was ranked 18th in the country among cornerbacks, and that was his first year as a starter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I don't. Hey, I've always loved Al Blaze, man.
Yeah, Legacy. Always been one of your favorite guys.
Always been one
of our favorite guys, because I mean, Blaze family. That's key. That's Kane's royalty right there. The Blades. So
yeah, I guess
they're all Kane's royalty. We'll see. But
I think for sure, there's some guys that.
Sigmund says something funny. Would it be something if Phillips had a good year and went ahead of Greg in the first round? That's an interesting case. I don't think Jalen could happen. I think he's going to have a big year. The thing with Jalen that Greg doesn't have, because Greg did have the ankle, but that was just a break. That was just
and I think his back as well, though.
Yeah, but remember, Jalen's had a little bit more chronic stuff in terms of injuries. Yeah. That might make it hard for him to leapfrog Greg. But yeah, Jalen Phillips absolutely has.
That's what I see, Stunner. That's what I see, Stunner Boy. I see Blaze as like
Yeah, that's
Yo,
what I would
okay,
say.
see, when people say that, that's when I have a problem, Anthony. Like, man, you're comparing Blaze to Akuda now. Like,
No, but what he says is true. If you look at their numbers,
okay,
dude,
okay,
they're
man.
cheaper before. No, listen, that's a fair point.
I'm not there.
I'm not
I
saying
can't meet you there.
I'm not saying he's a Cuda, man. That's not what I'm saying. His point isn't that he's a Cuda. His point is you look at Blade's season compared to Akuda's previous season, and they're almost identical. That's true. That's factual. Now, does that mean his ceiling is the same as Akuda's? No, that's not saying that. But Blades has a high ceiling. Let's not get it twisted either.
Akuda went third, right, to the Lions?
Yeah.
He went third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I mean, that's
What
fair.
up, Primo? We got wholesome
If
one.
I had to
in
put,
the
what do you
house.
say, Primo?
What's up, man?
But if I had to put money on it right now, I would agree with Stunner Boy. I mean, that's more or less what I would see. But DPGC Miami says Blades will test off the charts. Be careful when you say that with cornerbacks, man.
Yeah,
Cornerbacks in the NFL, they have a different chart than they're normal
Yeah.
human beings, man.
What's going on, Shonda? How's it doing, Mr. Roberts?
What do you say,
Blessing us with her
Shonda?
presence.
Always. There's
Hey, Shonda,
now why
it felt like every single picture I saw the scrimmage, man. I saw Elijah in the picture, trying to get after the ball. So that was good to see.
I love seeing that relentlessness. Yeah. That's one of the that's one of the things that people don't talk about defensive, especially defensive line players. But that relentless nature that Rousseau has, that Jalen Phillips has. Now we're talking about Elijah, that we see in a lot of top tier guys. Man, that accounts for a lot when you see those guys because you might get stoned at first. You might get stopped on that first move. But if you keep going and you're putting that consistent pressure, sooner or later that dam breaks, and that's a biggie. But the thing is with cornerbacks, now normally it's a wide receiver that usually will have the highest 40 time or the best 40 time in the draft in the combine. But if you look as a position group, the best athletes, those are cornerbacks, man. In the NFL, the best athletes on the field are cornerbacks. Okay, because you'll look at an NFL game and a cornerback gets dinged up, and the guy that comes in, you remember, oh, wait a second, he ran a 4.38 in the 40. Oh, yeah, I remember he had like a 41-inch vert.
Big dog.
Cornerbacks are. I mean, so when you say that Blades will test really well, look at the people he's going to test in the group that he's going to test with. That cornerback group is always special in terms of their athletic ability. And those NFL corners, man, why do you think NFL quarterbacks say that one of the toughest things for them to adjust to from college is the size of the window? Because in college football, they have a window. In the NFL, they got a little tiny window. It's like a little jealousy window. So it's those corners, man. Those corners are something else, man. He says that Blades is 6'1", 195. He runs a sub 4.4. I'm not sure he can run a sub 4.4. Were you saying he'll be in the 4.3 and change? I don't see that. I see 4.4s, but I don't see 4.3s with Al. But listen, there's still 8 months, 9 months between now and the combine. So there's the little one. There's a little one.
Zeke. You're getting a little.
What do you say, Zeke?
Little fussy. Are you poop, man? Ooh, mommy, he might be poop. You sure? I don't know. All right. Maybe you just smell like a boy. That's my mic. I'll be your mic one day.
He's looking at you with those headphones on.
Nah, she's not trying to turn them into FSU fans. They know what time it is. Look at them. They love the colors, man. They love the colors.
Hi there, Zeke.
He can't hear you, big dog.
I know.
But I'm just gonna get off a little bit because you're getting fuzzy.
I got to FaceTime him the other day. That was so much fun.
You were getting fuzzy. You were getting
DJ
fuzzy.
Scaife, that's a good one, man. That's a good one.
I think talking about the offensive line, man.
I think DJ is going to be one of the top 5 guards in the draft.
You think so?
The problem with the problem in terms of rounds is, man, guards are like safeties. They tend to go down because obviously the premiums on tackles, specifically left tackles. I mean, DJ, I always thought that DJ is going to be a quality NFL guard for a lot of years. And I think DJ's ability, the versatility that he has, is going to help him in the NFL because he can be plug and play at a bunch of different positions. Now, where is he going to go to the draft? I'm probably thinking second round, third round with DJ. Maybe second, I'll say, at the upper level. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy. Put it this way: whoever drafts DJ is going to be really, really happy with what they get because he's a guy that can help you out a lot of different places.
So let's go ahead and start talking about a little bit about the scrimmage, man. Because PJ just said, and it's something that I'm excited about how Jennings and Steed were out there, and they look good, man.
Jennings, man.
Yeah,
I've always liked Jennings' game because Jennings is a thumper, man. He's one of those guys that has. I'm trying to keep it clean. We used to say back in the day that he has bricks in his backside, so I cleaned it up. So, and that's the way Jennings hit. Jennings hit like he has some bricks on his backside. He hits with some authority. And I like Jennings a lot. And I'll tell you what, even if he doesn't start, just having him in the rotation, because you have to remember, guys, that, football nowadays, you better be too deep. You better be too deep everywhere. And I'm not talking about just because of dings. Yeah, people get dinged up and stuff like that. But also the number of plays that a lot of these, up-tempo teams play. You better keep guys fresh. And having a guy like Jennings in the rotation that he can come in and make a big hit and make a big play for you at linebacker is huge. And after all the injuries and after all the stuff that him and Steed especially have gone through, oh, man, are you ever rooting for those guys to become part of that rotation? And now you include guys like Sam Brooks, like Avery Huff, to go along with McLeod. And now a position that we were worried about because of the experience that we lost with Shaq and Pinkney, now all of a sudden becomes a positive for your defense and not a negative. And that's huge. That's huge. So
offensive, one of the things that obviously everybody's talking about Rooster and his, 10 carries, 126 yards and a touchdown. My only thing, there weren't no specifications on
who they played against.
Right, exactly. Right. Like Phillips only played a quarter and a half, I believe it was. So, but still, it's nice to see, man. I saw a picture, and it was a huge hole, man.
Manning says that when you stand behind Phillips and you watch him, you realize how special he is, which is what you and I have been talking about. That's what people didn't understand, and it wasn't. Man, I felt really bad at one point or another because I thought a lot of people in the chat thought that I was down on Quincy Roche, and it wasn't that I was down on Quincy Roche. I love Quincy Roche's tape. See a lot of relentless effort. See a lot of positive things with Quincy. But the thing is, Rousseau and Jalen Phillips on tape are a different level of player. They are a different type of special. And when you see a dude like Jalen Phillips, man, you stand behind him. And like Manny was saying, that he stands behind him and he watches Phillips and goes, oh, damn, that's different. It's one of those guys, when people say that when you watch tape and the guy jumps out of the tape at you, that you might be scouting somebody else. You might be looking at a different player. And all of a sudden you turn around, you go, who's that number 15 guy? Because the tape jumps out at you that he's special, that he plays at a different speed than everybody else, that his closing speed is special, that the way he hits is special, that his instincts are special. That's the thing that Jalen Phillips has, guy. I mean, there's a reason why Jalen Phillips was the number one player in the 2017 class. Okay, you watch that tape, man, and absolutely, Troutman. I'm glad you said that, JD, because Troutman's tape, people don't understand what a baller Troutman is, and because people go by I'm not going to get off on a rant on the rating system, but people go by the ratings. Troutman is a dog. Troutman is a dog playing, and I love Troutman's tape too. But the thing is, Jalen Phillips' tape is special in a different way. And that was the thing. So when I said that, people would say, don't sleep on Quincy. He had 13 sacks, at Temple and stuff like that. And I am pleased to no win, especially now that Rousseau is not going to play, that we got Quincy Roche. I'm ecstatic about that. And I think he's going to ball out for us this year. But you see a dude like Jalen, man, and it's just yikes. I mean, there was times on Jalen's tape. Yeah, that's true. Bergie says everything Troutman hits either stops moving or goes backwards. And it's the truth, man. That's the way. That's exactly, Bergie. That's what I'm saying, is that we used to call back in the day. We'd say he has bricks in his butt, or bricks. So that cleaned it up. So he had that he just hits with a different level of violence and stuff. So and I love that, and I love that about Troutman's tape. I mean, there's Terrence Lewis has some really nice tape out there too. So, and I know he's been the talk of a lot of Canes fans, but yeah, that's the thing. So seeing Jalen do well was really, really good. I thought De'Ara King had a big. I mean, both Rooster and Don Chaney looked great. They both had TDs. Restrepo had a 70-yard TD on a reverse. I think he also caught a couple of balls for like 50, I want to say 54 yards, something like that, 2 catches for 54 yards, but he had a 70-yard touchdown on a reverse. I think you're going to see Restrepo play on all of the special teams. I think you're going to see him get a shot at returning punts. I think he's going to play kick coverage, run punt coverage. And he's going to back up Harley in the slot. One thing I would like to see is the last depth chart I saw. They did not have Pope listed in the slot. They only had him as backing up. I believe they had him backing up Jeremiah Payton at one of the receiver slots. I'd like to see Pope get some snaps at slot too. I think Pope would be awesome in the slot. So we'll see. Yeah, Bolden and Hall did really, really well. Not a surprise there. I think those two guys are going to lead our defense this year. I mean, along with the defensive line. But I think those two guys are going to have monster years, both of them. What else as far as takes of the draft?
Takes of the draft?
I mean, of the draft, of the scrimmage.
While I was gone, did you talk about O-line?
That I was just getting to the O-line now. We did not talk about the O-line.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the two things I think you could write in stone are going to be surprising to some. Is that I think the competition for our tackles is over. And I think the winners are, no surprise, Jared Williams, and monster surprise to a lot of people, John Campbell. I think those will be our 2 starting tackles. And believe it or not,
Big Dog, I think right guard is also pretty much set in stone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
and the only one that's not set in stone, I think, is left guard. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you could say that, because you could say Gaynor was pretty much set in stone too.
You're right. So
but I think a lot of people are surprised by John Campbell being our starting left tackle.
I'm surprised. I'm pretty surprised.
I can say I was surprised.
Yeah.
Because if anything, I thought that would be Zion's spot now. If Jared Williams was going to play right tackle.
Yeah, well,
I thought we were going to flip Jared to the left side.
Yeah, well, Justice touched on it a little bit, saying that he wanted to slow the game down a little bit for Zion and was giving him a shot at guard. But, Usman Traore has been getting a lot of snaps at that left guard position.
And I think Usman might end up backing up at both guard spots.
So who do you got the left guard? Who is going to be left guard?
So we got Scaife at right guard.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because
some people got Zion Nelson there. Can I go back to the guy I liked from the beginning? But that's biased though on my part, frankly, because I liked him so much when he was in high school.
Oh, Reed?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not exactly impartial because he was one of the guys I loved coming out of high school. Man. Yeah. I mean, it might end up being Zion. I know Traore's giving a push there. I know they got Cleveland Reed at right guard. And they have him probably, backing up DJ Scaife at right guard. Listen, if Scaife could play that left guard, I wouldn't mind having Cleveland Reed at right guard.
Terrence is saying, what about Jakai?
That's also, he has to be in the mix. Now, I do think Jakai is going to end up backing Gaynor. So that means if I have him backing up Gaynor, I don't think that means he's going to start. Man, if I had to pick right now, if you forced me to pick right now, I'd say Campbell at left tackle, Jared Williams at right tackle, Scaife at right guard, Gaynor at center, and then at left guard might end up being Zion Nelson. Might end up being Zion Nelson.
Might be Traore.
You think it might be Traore?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll see though, because Zion is up to like
312.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe more right now, but
so 6'5". I mean, he's wearing that 312.
He's wearing it very well.
Yeah. I mean, they might have him listed as 6'4", but I don't know. I think he's all of 6'5".
Yeah.
Now, what I'm surprised about, I think they have Adam Gamal listed at 6'4", and I thought he was taller.
Gamal, I thought Gamal was like 6'7".
That's what I thought so too. Double check, fact check me on that. Pull up the roster because you're quicker on it than I am. Pull up the roster with the their actual weights and stuff, because I think they had him listed at 6'4", and I'm like, I thought the same thing. I was like, wait a second, Al Gamal was like 6'7". Remember, he was a hot shot basketball player.
They got him at 6'5".
6'5", okay. And they have Zion listed at what, 6'5", 312 or 6'4"?
6'5".
6'5", 312?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Clark was a starting right guard for what, 10 games last year, 11 games? Yeah, I mean, Bergie, that's a good point. He says Zion might not be a popular name due to last season, but I guarantee you no one will outwork him. The kid has a great work ethic, and he was a great kid, man. Listen, I was hypercritical of them leaving him out there because I thought they did the worst thing for the young man because he kept getting beat like a drum. And but he certainly was. I mean, you talk about dealing a kid a bad hand. Hey, by the way, you weigh 242 when you show up. Not only are we going to have you gain 50 yards, we're going to have you gain 50 yards and then play from day one at left tackle against Greenard and Zuniga. And, oh, by the way, it's also a brand new quarterback. And, oh, by the way, it's a brand new offense. You want to talk about, if you wanted to hit a checklist of all the things that you don't want to do to a young true freshman, they did to Zion Nelson. They really did. They threw him out there with the Wolves, man. And I'm not saying, listen, maybe they after seeing what we saw when Keelan Herbert got in there and Zalante Hillary got in there, maybe that was their best choice. Maybe that was the best left tackle at the time. But they certainly threw the young man to the Wolves. So no one can say, I mean, I don't understand some of Canes fam having negative feelings towards him because he was put in a terrible spot, So let's give the young man a chance to develop, because in a perfect world, you never have a true freshman playing on the offensive line. You just
Not
don't.
not just that, but a true freshman that's coming off gaining like 40 pounds in a matter of like
50 pounds. Yeah, 48 pounds.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
50 pounds in a matter of a few
And
months.
by the way, and we were talking about the players that they get time. We haven't even brought into the equation Jalen Rivers.
Yeah, but he's a tackle, big dog.
No, I get that, but I'm saying is
He's all tackle.
He's definitely a tackle. He's definitely some people are saying, oh, in college he's going to be a guard, in the NFL he's going to be a guard. I don't
know.
I don't see that. I see a tackle. People say, well, if he's a tackle, it's a right tackle. He can't be a left tackle. I don't see that either. Now, Isaiah Walker
could. I see that possibility with Walker more than I do with Rivers.
In terms of what?
In terms of being a guard?
Yeah, well, no, there's a lot of people say Isaiah is a pure left tackle, which he can be.
He can be, but
he also can be inside a guard easier than Jalen Rivers could.
I agree with that.
I agree with you there too. So, listen, I think now people mentioned Chris Washington. Listen, we got some depth now.
Big boy.
Some depth. Yeah, we have some depth, and we got some guys. But again, guys, remember, when you look at the big time college programs, your freshman and even redshirt freshman or sophomore offensive linemen are to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
Okay, because you don't want those guys on the field until they're ready, because that's a man's game in there. In the trenches, that's a man's game. And I don't care how much of a stud you were in high school. An offensive line, you are asking somebody who's 18, 19 years old, even no matter how big they are, to block guys who are going after your quarterback who are 22. Okay? That isn't a fair fight. All right? So in a perfect world, you never let true freshmen play. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Everybody that sees Isaiah Walker says that's your left tackle. That's a left tackle for sure. And I agree with that. I do agree with that assessment, but I also think Jalen Rivers can be a left tackle. I think, first off, Jalen Rivers, and people forget about what an awesome kid he is. Okay, remember, this is a young man, had a really high grade point average in school, could have gone to a lot of different places. A lot of people had him going to Stanford, which gives you an idea what type of a kid he is in the classroom. So Jalen Rivers can play anything if he puts his mind to it, but I think he's a true tackle. So, but again, I don't want to hear those guys in the mix until they can have a year under their belt in a college level strength and conditioning program. And then when they're redshirt freshmen, when they're redshirt sophomores, then they get into the mix. And that's what you want to see.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Zoe. Lonzo 1219 for the one time.
There you go.
Thank you for joining us, Zoe. Appreciate that, man.
But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what ends up happening.
What did I do here? There you go.
Rod the Goat says he thinks that Marcus Tate's going to flip. Wow. Listen, I like him. I like him too. I like him too, speaking of tackles. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Yeah, I mean, 904, that's the thing. 904 says, up to this point, coaches are more impressed with Rivers over Walker so far. That's the thing with me is that, and don't get me wrong, I love the fact that Isaiah Walker left the Gators for us. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that we have Isaiah Walker, because I said this before on our previous live. I said that if I would have told you that we were going to end up with Jalen Rivers and Isaiah Walker both, you would have said I was crazy. And after a 6 and 7 season, the fact that we ended up with both is amazing. So I want both. But Jalen Rivers is much more special than I think a lot of Canes fans are giving him credit to be. Okay. And by the way, I think they have him listed at 6'5", because I had him at 6'6", 330. And I think we had him at 6'5", 325. Show me, what is he listed at?
Who's this? I'm sorry.
Jalen Rivers.
He is, I don't know where they got him listed at right now, but 6'6", 330.
That's what I had him as, 6'6", 330. But I think they have him. They updated the Miami updated his roster with heights and weights. And for some reason, it sticks in my mind that they might have listed him at 6'5".
Yeah, you're right, big dog. They got him at 6'5", 325 right now.
That's
On
what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so but hey, if you call Central Casting and say send me a tackle, okay, it's 6'5", 325 with the type of IQ that Jalen Rivers has.
Pitu,
That's
besito.
who you talking to?
Tom Pituca
Oh,
on
no kidding.
Facebook says
Oh, that's
besito.
awesome. That's awesome. Hi, Vito. But we'll see.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you,
God,
Sean.
listening from New Hampshire, baby.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. So what else? What other takes, man?
From the okay, can we start hooping and hollering about Rooster?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, man! And how
Oh
about
yeah.
Cheney? Cheney lit it up too.
Yeah, but although with Cheney, I think I heard Manny say, cause I think he rushed. I think it was like 11 carries for 57 yards, but I think one of those was like a 40-yard run. So
Yeah, touchdown.
yeah. So besides that, I don't think. But listen, man, you know,
The thing with Rooster,
you never want the hype. You know what I think is funny, big dog. What I think is funny is the people since you heard 4 touchdowns by De'Aaron King, you heard Rooster, 10 carries, 126 yards. You heard
only one interception in the in the scrimmage, and who had it?
only one pick, and it was Clark, wasn't it?
Marcus Clark. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
A young man that hasn't even really been fully enveloped in playing cornerback.
Yeah. So
That's pretty impressive.
the the people talking about the defense is trash. that's the part, huh?
Who said that?
On Twitter, on Twitter, you got
Twitter's not the real
the
world, man.
offense lit it up, so now, oh man, that now they're worried about the defense.
That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
But you heard
A
Manny
lot of
say,
times, you have to remember, a lot of times you play first team against second team on purpose,
right?
because what you want isn't necessarily always a struggle. What you want is to be able to develop an offense against guys that they'll be likely playing against that level of competition. Okay, let's face it, on our schedule, there, in terms of talent, there's usually a couple of teams a year that has our talent level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the rest of them have our second team talent level.
Right.
That's the reality of it. So a lot of times you want first team against second team because you want rhythm, you want continuity. Okay, if you can put Greg Rousseau and Jalen Phillips on the field every down against your first team offense, okay, how much are they going to be able to develop before Jalen Phillips or Greg Rousseau touches them? Because remember, quarterbacks aren't live.
Right.
So it's tag.
Yeah.
How many? You remember what happened with Greg Rousseau during scrimmages a lot of times?
Well, he was the sack king.
No, they yanked him off the field because they couldn't play.
Yeah.
They couldn't get plays off.
But listen, I think, and this is my point. Canes fan, like, if you guys went to the open scrimmages a couple years ago, well, actually a few years ago, which I believe, no, the Trash Power one was last year. Oh man, was it 2017? I don't know, but my point is to say that you look at the depth that we had a couple years ago compared to the depth that we have now on both sides of the football, and it's just it's very promising to see, man. It's very promising to see because there was times in those, man. What scrimmage was that? That was 2017. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was 2017. The one on Hard Rock, and that's the second and third team just looked like some of those guys didn't belong on the field, man. Right. It was just looking bad. And now, when you look at, some of our second team and third team guys, you're like, what? These could be first team guys on a lot of teams. Right. So I think that's something which It's definitely getting better. And look at our 2021 recruiting class.
Yeah.
Reloading, man, not rebuilding.
I expect
Reloading.
just look at receiver, okay? Because somebody was talking about. Oh, PJ said that Payne, Jeremiah Payne can be special. I agree with you 100%. You look
check
at
this,
guys.
hey, check this out, big dog. We got Brian Brian Ballone's dad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he says, "Great show, guys. My son Brian Balone, number 27, free safety." He said, "Rooster runs by you, and Cheney runs you over you."
By the way, your son, Mr. Malone, is something very special. Also, we're so glad to have him at Miami.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us, by the way.
Thank you for joining us. That's man, our safety was okay. Just look at our safety room right now. Just seriously, just look at our safety room right now.
Yeah.
Okay, now just look at the guys that have been there, like Bubba Bolden, like Gervin Hall, like Amari Carter, like Kentra, and now look at what we added in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, with Avante, which hopefully will be back by next season.
Got Keyshawn, Brian
Balone.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're going to add to that James Williams and Cameron Kitchens. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches, man. And that's where you want to get to. That's where the Alabamas are. That's where the Clemsons are, where you have a second team that's monsters. And then you have a third team made up of young guys who are going to be monsters. We're starting to get that depth. Now, frontier talent, we've had that frontier talent for a while. When you look at guys, you go, man, that's special. He's special. He's special. But now when you have special guys on your second unit, special guys coming up that are just young on your third unit, now's where that's the place you want to be. And that's the place that we're getting it to. And they've done an amazing job. I do expect at receiver, you're going to see some true freshmen like Javier Restrepo, like Keyshawn Smith, who's going to be huge. Redding, we haven't had a chance to really explore yet because of the injury. Okay, but Redding is going to be a stud also. We're getting there, man. We are definitely getting there.
Keyshawn Smith, I think, has an opportunity to see some playing time as well.
Absolutely. And Michael Redding has deep speed too. People will be sleeping on Michael Redding. He has deep speed also. And that's big in Rhett Lashley's offense because Lashley likes taking deep shots. Yeah. And when you have guys like D. Wiggins, when you have guys like Keyshawn Smith, guys like Michael Redding that can get deep and that are college ready, they're going to be playing. And Jeremiah Payne, I think, is going to be a starter.
Aiden, I'm not scared of Trevor Lawrence. He is not going to feel sorry for us, but we're not going to
let up for him either. And
we're not going to let up for him either. He's going to have. If there's any weakness on Clemson, it's probably that offensive line.
Oh no, and I will bet you. We
will get to sunshine. I bet you that.
What I'm saying is, barring injury, I will bet you he gets to know Jalen Phillips and Quincy Roche personally. He's going to know how they smell. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Because they're going to be close to him often.
I'm ready to line it up with Clemson. Like
I'm just with anybody, scared of no one.
You know, listen,
that's not the Miami way. The Kane way is teams are scared to play us. We've never been scared to play.
We got nothing. Oh my God! Especially like a season like this, man. I just think, listen, man,
bring it.
Just go.
Bring it.
That's enough for the hype train, off-season hype train. Like I just want to play some football, and I think things are looking.
Guys,
I know people are freaking out a little bit about UNC because UNC had a little bit of a little outbreak because they started having these little frat parties and whatnot and stuff like that. So I think they canceled all activities until I think only until tomorrow. I think tomorrow they could start practicing and whatnot.
It's just the idea that now it looks like we are going to have football, man. I'm so happy about.
Maybe, man. Did you see Ohio State, Nebraska, Iowa? Who else?
You see Justin Fields collected over 15,000 signatures?
No. But oh man, I'm missing a few teams. Ohio State, Nebraska, Iowa. Who else?
They were talking about
they're trying to do like a little season amongst themselves.
Ohio State even threatened to go to a different conference.
Yeah, that's big. Yeah, that's big.
Justin Fields collected 15,000 signatures.
Yeah,
in order to petition them to play. This is what I told you, is they're allowing people outside of the football program, because that's a decision that should be parents, coaches, and the university, obviously. Okay, that's who should have a voice in that decision. You have university presidents deciding on things.
Kane says that he has over 200,000 signatures.
Now it's over 200,000. Jesus, there you go. So I heard an old story. I heard it was only 15,000. Now you're looking over 200,000. What I don't understand is, why is anybody, that decision should be parents, coaches, and you could say athletic staff, those type of people, the doctors for the doctors associated with the athletic programs. That's who should be making that decision, not university presidents. Okay, by themselves, without consulting any of the young men, without consulting the young men's parents, without consulting, and I get it, because they're over 18, so technically they're adults. But at the end of the day, those parents are the ones that allowed the coaches to have them at their universities, because they were part of that decision. So they should be brought into the loop. Yeah. That's who should be making this decision. Okay, because I'll tell you right now, if Mr. Malone or Shonda and George Roberts or Mr. Blissett, okay, who also watches the show, if they tell us they don't want their kids to play, I'm going to do this. I'm going to shut my mouth, because then it's none of my business. Because if they don't want their kids to play, they're their parents. I shut up, because they're the ones that have the right to say that. Okay, but when you have the parents not talking, the coaches not talking, the kids not talking, but the university president comes out and unilaterally says, "Oh, we're not going to play." No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to back you, because the people that should be talking about this are not you, are not the university president. That's a decision that should be made with the people who will be impacted by it having the voice.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I saw in the Big Ten. I saw university presidents and conference commissioners weighing in, and I'm like, where are the kids' parents? Where are the kids? Where are the coaches? Yeah. Where are the athletic staff? Where are the doctors associated with the athletic staff? Why aren't they talking? And Julio Frank brought up a great point, by the way, that I had never thought of. And when I saw that point, I went, oh, man, he shut the reporter up. Because you could tell the reporter that was interviewing was sort of asking questions along the line of why you're allowing UM to play. And he said a great point that nobody ever brings up, is there's an assumption that if you don't allow them to play, that will make the kids less at risk, when in reality, the exact opposite could be true. Because if you take athletes out of the structure of their sports, where are they going to be hanging out? They're likely to be hanging out more in crowds, more in parties, more with other young people.
Yeah.
So Julio Frank brought up a great point, that saying to the kids won't play isn't making them safer. It could be putting them at more risk, which we hadn't even thought of, really. And when I read that, I went, "Oh man, he's right."
But that's what Trevor Lawrence was saying, and that's what a lot of these big time college athletes, college football players are saying, is that, listen,
you take football away from us, we're not going to stand in our dorm rooms going,
big dog,
we can't talk to anybody. No, they're going to be going out to parties more often. They're going to be going out to other places more often, because they don't have football practice the next day.
Yeah.
So you could be putting these athletes at more risk,
right,
than less risk by taking them out of football.
Yeah.
And when Frank said that, I went, that's brilliant. I really hadn't even thought about that. He's right.
Yeah.
And he sort of threw the question back at the reporter and said, do you think it means that if we don't let them play, that they'll be doing actions that are less at risk than playing? And then Manny took they actually timed each position. I think we did it and Virginia did it. Each position, how often they're within 6 feet of other positions. And like in a half a game, it was like 2 minutes and change that they were, inside of 6 feet social distancing. And so when you look at it, it's really not a huge risk. And if you're keeping these athletes in a bubble or a semi-bubble, okay, and you're testing them all the time, that might be the safest thing for these young kids. Because if you hear these universities that have had outbreaks, it's never been athletic, due to athletics. It's been due to parties, right? It always comes back. Notre Dame had the same thing. Notre Dame had to go to had to cancel in-person classes for like 2 weeks. And why was it? A string of parties off campus.
It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. Hey, shout out to my brother, man. My brother says, "What's up, big dog? What's up, little bro?"
What do you say? But it's true, and that's an absolutely they need to start compensating these young men better. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
About time, man.
So that's the thing is when they start, and like I said, if parents were saying they shouldn't be playing, then I shut up and back off.
Yeah.
Because ultimately that's who really has a right to say something. But it's not parents that I'm hearing. Miss Roberts said right now, she said it's exactly right. Because it's true. Where is Elijah the least chance of him contracting it? Being around his teammates who are getting tested, who are coming back negative, okay, where he's in a structured environment. Now, if he doesn't play football, you think he's going to be in his dorm room alone? What did you and I do when we were 18 years old?
Whew.
I wasn't going to Bible study all that often. At 18.
I don't think a lot of people were.
Okay, then. So that's the thing. And what Julio Frank said was 100% correct. Playing and being in this structured environment, I think, is the healthiest thing for these young people.
Yeah,
I do.
Sean says, be honest, will King, I think we touched on this already, will King consider staying another year with this new rule, or does he sign with an agent and prepare for the NFL draft as a quarterback or a wide receiver? I think it depends on the kind of season that he has, man.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the kind of season. Because listen, we touched on it earlier. If King has a season that
like 2018,
where he combined, goes off for right, so like 50 plus touchdowns combined, then I think he's going to be turning some heads for a quarterback in the NFL. Now, as we stand right now, you got some NFL scouts saying that they want him as a wide receiver, but one season is all it takes, man, to completely change a young man's future, especially at the quarterback position.
And if he has that season, he'd have more than Kyler Murray, because he'd have one season that was Heisman worthy in a Group of 5 school, and then one season at a Power 5 school.
And listen, and if just consider the competition he's going to be playing this year.
Correct.
You're going to be playing better competition than Houston was playing in 2018. So if he could just come close to resembling those 2018 numbers, man, then I think he's gone.
I think somebody gives him a look at quarterback.
Right, but I think, listen, you have agents, and then you have people in your ear, saying, hey, look, maybe you might go in this round, or this team is interested. I mean, you hear whispers. So if he's not satisfied with what he hears after he plays, the entirety of the season, then maybe he comes back. And then your opening season is against Alabama, which everybody's going to be watching. Everybody's going to be tuned in. So, you want to put the scouts on notice. Even after this year, you guys still don't want to take me serious as a quarterback? Fine. Watch this. Let me go ahead, open up against Alabama, and then I think the Canes are going to be better just in general, especially with the 2021 recruiting class coming in, and the 2020 recruiting class, being more experienced. And I just think things are trending up. So if he does come back, man, I think it's because he doesn't have, something that resembles that 2018 season. Because frankly, listen, that it's hard to resemble that, especially first year, Rhett Lashley. There's things that it's going to take time for these things to click, for this offense. Now, how long that takes, is we'll see. But I mean, the longer it takes, the more that might hurt King's production. Now, the shorter it, vice versa. Maybe we face UAB, then we play Louisville, which is a good second test, and then we go into FSU, wash it, and then maybe we go into Clemson, and we just get the ball rolling, and then King has an amazing year. Then I think he might be gone. But I think it's an interesting rule, not just for King, but for other players as well, man. You get a freebie. You know what I'm saying? Even for possible. My only question, Big Dog, is how does that work for seniors?
Well,
for graduates, for graduate transfers.
Well, I mean, that's
how's that going to work for them?
It can still work for them.
What if they're done with school?
Yeah, but they can always take more classes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, the one thing is, I do want to point this out, and that was a good question by Sean. And I want to point this out, though. This isn't the first time King has gone through this. King ended up at Houston because of the very same thing, because there was group of Power 5 schools that were interested in King as an athlete, as a receiver.
Right.
But he wanted to play quarterback, and Houston gave him that opportunity. But what ended up happening is he was down on the depth chart. I think he had worked his way up to backup, I want to say, or third string. But then they had an injury bug hit him at wide receiver, and they moved him to wide receiver. And then he caught, 50 catches? I think he caught at wide receiver for 500 yards or something like that in the time he played wide receiver. And then he finally got a chance to play quarterback and lit it up and had listen, there's a reason why he is a favorite to be among the players invited for the Heisman. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with that because of this, weird season that we're having due to COVID. But remember, what did I think Las Vegas had him the number 3 in the choice for the Heisman as a favorite, third favorite.
I don't know, man. I keep on seeing.
They had Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields ahead of him, and I think they had him third. Didn't they have him third in the odds?
But then I saw a list today that they had Sam Howell ahead of him. Like they had, I don't know.
Oh well, whatever. But that depends on what people bet. That's how they set odds. So
right.
But yeah, I'm leaning to him not necessarily being with us a second year, but having that possibility if the NCAA does decide that, I think would be huge. So we shall see.
I'm with you, man.
What happened? You're
nothing. No. Because I'm muting my mic because the kids are a little. So that's why you might hear me come in and out.
Yeah, little rambunctious. I got you. What do you guys want to do? Some rapid fire questions? Yeah, I mean, how DPGC Miami says how is overhyped. I agree, man. Listen, I like the young man. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I think he had a tremendous freshman season at UNC.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have one, man.
What? Okay, KC Cruz with a donation. Thank you, KC. He says, I really hate to say it, but for the first time in a very long time, I think we've got a shot. I agree.
Big strings. Hey.
I like it. Go out there and say it. Say it loud and say it proud. Speak it into existence. Yeah, I think we've turned the corner. Now we shall see. So Anthony says that he thinks Harley will be King's best friend. Yeah, I think Harley's going to have a good year. And I think a lot of the guys that play in the slot, I think Restrepo is going to have a good year for a true freshman. I'd like to see Pope get some time in the slot also. 904 Hurricanes say, will Mallory be a secret weapon the first few games? Yeah, Will, what do you say, Richie? Will Mallory, man, that's a special athlete.
We'll see, man.
I know. We got to start seeing it on the field. The problem,
he did great in the scrimmage, and he did great in the scrimmages last year as well.
Oh, but he had some moments last year. He had some moments. He also had some bad moments, but he had some good moments last year. Listen, he's a nightmare. He's a nightmare matchup.
Big dog. Okay. Let's be real.
Yeah, but he has to produce consistently.
What Mallory did not have the season that we thought we were here.
No.
Okay.
But
the Canes did it, and the Canes did it in general.
Right. But he has Will Mallory's potential. His ceiling as a tight end is unlimited.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 6'5". I think he's up to 240. I want to say 245 or 243 or something like that, 242. He says his weight's up to over 240. So 6'5" over 240. And this is a dude that ran a sub 1100 meters in high school.
Yeah.
So that's a special athlete. And Will Mallory's going to be one of those guys that whenever he decides to go pro is going to make heads turn at the combine because they don't make people that size that can run that fast and that are built the way Mallory's built.
Question.
He has to show the production.
Hey, Gallo Negro. So what am I calling you from now on, man? Am I calling you Mr. Austin? Am I calling you LeBrant? Or am I calling you a Gallo Negro?
That's true. Opalaga, we've always had great tight ends and running backs. That's 100% true.
But I think Gallo Negro put a good song, a good question here. First of all, we got another Casey Cruz, man. Thank you again for the donation.
Casey.
We got another donation from Slim Shady. Let's not forget the offense won the spring game last year.
Yeah, but I think they rigged that spring game last year.
Yeah.
I think they rigged that spring game for the offense.
What was I gonna say? Damn, Gallo Negro had a good question, and now I lost it.
You want me to look for it?
No, I got it here. He says, question, who will matter more to King's success, the running backs or the wide receivers?
Good question. I'm going to say wide receivers from the standpoint of I think the running backs are more of a given. Because even though we know what Cam Harris has done and we know what he can do when he's healthy.
To me, it still comes down to the offensive line.
Well, no, absolutely offensive line. Hey, listen, what did I say last year 400 million times?
In order for the running backs to be able to take pressure off of King, they need to be able to create holes for the running backs.
Correct. No, but what did I say 100 times last year? In the entire history of football, there's never been a great offense without at least a very good offensive line.
Right. So to me, King's success, I think
what they're saying is in terms of just between those two, running back and receiver. And the reason why I think even our freshmen in Chaney and Rooster, I think are a given that those guys are hugely talented guys that are going to be successful when they get the opportunity. Wide receivers, we still have more question marks.
Yeah.
Because seriously, who do we have that's a proven producer at wide receiver? Harley? At the college level?
Brevin?
No, that's a tight end.
Yeah, but I mean, besides that.
Yeah, but just wide receiver. Harley's the one that's been most proven. D. Wiggins, but D hasn't exactly,
he came on last year.
Number one guy.
Yeah, but he did good towards. I mean,
he did a little bit good the year before too, in terms of at least getting open and stuff like that, and flashing.
Yeah.
So yeah, our receivers are a lot more of a question mark. Now I think they're going to step up. I do. I think they're going to have some really good years. I think Jeremiah Payton is ready to burst on this.
Oh yeah.
I think some of the freshmen are going to absolutely help. I think Mark Pope. This is really like a make or break year for Mark Pope.
What's up, Betu Perry? It's a make or break year for a lot of guys. I think it's a make or break year for Nesta. Somebody asked about Jordan Miller.
I think Jordan Miller's going to be a monster at tackle.
Oh man, who asked about Jordan Miller, man? Richard, yes, thank you, man.
What do you say, Richard?
He says, what do you expect out of Jordan Miller?
I expect Jordan to have a big year. I think Jordan's going to end up with almost as many snaps as Nesta and John Ford. Barring injury, of course, with all guys talking about. Barring injury, I think Jordan Miller's going to be on the field a lot. And Jordan's one of these guys that when he's on the field, he flashes.
He always flashes.
And,
Not always, but he usually flashes.
He penetrates. He plays with relentless effort. He's special. I think
he's probably our strongest dude on the team.
He is. I mean, they say he's going to end up breaking all kinds of Kane's weightlifting records for the football team by the time he leaves.
Yeah,
because of how strong he is.
Yeah,
and talk about a young man who's put in the work, man. Jordan, put a picture there. If you guys ever have a chance, look at a picture of Jordan Miller when he reported to Miami and look at what he looks like now. It seems like it's two different people.
Yeah.
Seriously, that dude looks like two different human beings.
Yes, 904, 100%. He's the best run stopper.
Oh, and I'll tell you, 904, he flashes, man. He makes plays. He gets on the field. He penetrates. He beats his man. He holds his ground. Jordan Miller, in a lot of ways, I trust Jordan's production at this stage. Okay, I trust that I know what I'm going to get from Jordan Miller more than I trust what I'm going to get from John Ford and Nesta. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Nesta and John Ford, I think both have higher ceilings possibly than Jordan does.
Right.
But with Jordan, I already know that if
he's going to be consistent,
I know what I'm going to get from Jordan Miller.
Right.
With Nesta and John Ford, I still have my questions.
I got you. I'm with you.
You know?
I'm with you on there.
Yeah,
I
like
good. Basic Perry, what's up? So we got second scrimmage this weekend. What else we got to talk about that's been going on?
Redhead Kid say, why don't we start Miller? But the thing is, Ford and Nesta and Ford, I should put them, I don't know. Maybe it is Ford and Nesta in terms of ceiling, might have higher ceilings. But in terms of consistent play, to me, when I look back at the tape from last season and I started just grading players, Jordan was the guy that I graded out number one at D tackle. Now, mind you, he didn't play anywhere near the number of snaps the other guys did.
Right.
So it's unfair to compare them. But to me, he had the highest grade among our D tackles.
Yeah.
So.
Side question: can the Heat beat the Bucks next series? I say Heat in 6.
I say no. I hope they do.
Yeah,
I hope they do, but I don't think that's going to
happen. I know they lost to Orlando. The Bucks did, but
but beating him in a series is a whole different animal.
Yeah,
and
they did good. They did good against the Bucks though during the season.
They still, but they still got during the season is one thing, but playoffs when you got to beat them 4 times in a series, and they got that guy named Giannis. I don't know if you've heard of him. And he's pretty good at that basketball thing.
But if you just,
no, they got other players too.
Create
not a one-man team. They got
other Middleton and stuff like that. But I mean,
what a hell of a player.
No, he is.
We have the fantasy basketball league. Middleton helped me out quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. You got to get past Indiana first.
Yeah, I know.
But I think that's it, man. Listen, guys, if you're still with us and if you're new here by any chance, and if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to Junior the Big Dog. We go live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're also on Facebook. Check us out. Just type in Junior and the Big Dog, and you should be able to find our page. If you're watching us on Facebook, man, do us a favor on YouTube and slide over and hit that notifications bell after you subscribe, so you can get notified anytime me and the Big Dog do go live. We do player breakdowns. Like I mentioned, we go live every single Wednesday, but we also go live sometimes, after games, post game. We do pregame breakdowns. Huge in recruiting. We're gonna be diving into Big Dog. I think some people want to start seeing some breakdowns of the 2021 guys that we have on board. Ooh. So that's something that we might
get ready for my Leonard Taylor, because you might see like Big Dog.
We gotta save that for last. We gotta save that one for last. We have a lot of.
I start breaking down my man Leonard Taylor. Oh
yeah, Shauna, we'll see. I know Georgia Tech has pretty much approved, I believe, fans in the stands.
Yeah, at the very least, Sean, I absolutely think they should make exceptions for the parents. That's 100%.
I think that's probably yeah. I'm not honestly. Listen,
parents should be allowed always.
Fans, I get fans want to go to the games, but I want to see those boys play.
Yeah,
more than anything. So if
that's the first priority. Is that.
Right. So if we can't have fans in the stands, then we can't have fans in the stands. Like I'm not stressing about that. I just want to see
parents and families should be allowed in the stands.
Yeah. No, 100%. No, I haven't seen Mark Rogers' prediction for Florida season. But yeah, so yeah, like I was saying, man, if you're new here, before you guys go ahead and hop out of here, hit that like button
Yes,
and
please.
share. If you guys got a family, friends that you know about that are Canes fans, tell them to check out Junior and the Big Dog, man. The best and your favorite father and son duo when it comes to the covering the Miami Hurricanes
I
and
do agree
sports.
with you. Jay Nice says pump the brakes. They have to show us on the field that they're back. Jay Nice, I'm 100% with you, man. They do have to show us on the field. That's 100% true.
What do you mean?
And I think I would probably be more in line with you if it wasn't Eric King and Rhett Lashley. I think the Eric King and Rhett Lashley finally hooked me back, reeled me back in. But I agree with you. Until we see it on the field, we can't say that. I agree. So go ahead. I'm sorry, dude.
Nah, we're gonna be back.
That's true. Eric A. Millie says we're the best father and son duo because we're the only father and son duo.
Well, even if there was another father and son duo, man, they would have nothing on Junior and the Big Dog.
There you go. That's even better.
Yeah. But listen, guys, man, thank you so much for joining us. My bad once again about last week. Yeah, we try to do this every you hear those kids already? You hear them. They're like, Dad, we want food, we want sleep. So
yes, we are gonna do, Chuck. We're gonna do the breakdown videos for sure.
Oh yeah. We have to, man.
I want to do a spread breakdown video too. Because I think a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions what the spread means. People think that the spread is like air it out every down, and it's not. And it's not. The spread is predominantly a running offense, which people don't get. The whole point of the spread is getting.
No. Don't dive into it, big though.
No, but we will have a show where we do a breakdown of the spread. I want to do that.
Yeah.
To show them why you get numbers and spreads.
The Junior and the Big Dog family are asking for you to break out the chalk.
I love it.
Chalk talk.
That's my favorite. I never thought people liked chalk talk. I really never thought people liked it.
Yeah.
And I just loved it that it was so well received and people did like it.
Yeah. So hey man, thank you so much for the people that donated and for the people that joined us as well. Whether you were on Facebook or on YouTube, man, thank you so much for joining us and spending some of your Wednesday evening with Gene and Big Dog, man. We always cherish you guys, and we're truly humbled by your support and all your kind words, and we just love chopping it up with you guys on Wednesdays, man. So thank you so much, man. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. You got anything to add, Big Dog, before we go ahead and bounce?
No, that's good. That's all.
Like always, man. It's all
about this. You.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.